NAMI president, and Jason, and just wondering how you're doing.
Pretty good. I just came from a luncheon for Martin Luther King holiday, and now I'm just trying to figure out what to do with my evening.
You gonna go work out?
Yeah, I'm gonna go work out. I'm trying to figure out besides that if I'm gonna just come home or go see a movie.
Okay, what movies are you looking forward to seeing?
Well, there's a new House Party movie out. I kind of want to go see Babylon. If you haven't seen it, A Man Called Otto, I saw that last weekend. It's excellent.
I saw it yesterday.
Yeah,
It was good.
yeah, I loved it.
How was it? It was only came in theaters yesterday, I thought.
No, it was last weekend was the premiere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. What do we want to start with today?
Well, we might as well start with football since the playoffs start tomorrow.
Okay. So let's go over the first game, and we're gonna just talk in general about it. Since it is the playoffs, we can spend a little more time on the games. So first game is Seahawks at 49ers. Tell me a little bit about what you think. Tell me about Brock Purdy, and obviously how good the defense of the 49ers are.
Well, I've been watching Brock Purdy for years. I was a fan of his at Iowa State. I was always impressed, and I've been impressed since he's been in the league. That 49ers defense, top notch. D'Amico Ryans may end up being a head coach somewhere. So these might be his last games as a 49ers defensive coordinator. Still, it's hard to beat a team 3 times in one season. 49ers will be looking to do. And Pete Carroll is not a slouch as a coach. I do think Seattle will end up losing, but I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk.
So what are you surprised Brock Purdy's is good?
No, because he's got a great play caller in Kyle Shanahan, and he's got Christian McCaffrey behind him. So if you got a running game and you got a great play caller and a great defense, you don't have to do much.
So what do you think they do with Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance?
Jimmy G was on a 1-year deal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And Trey Lance, I don't know when he's going to be back, but I would guess he's going to come in and be the number 1 quarterback because they picked him number 2 overall, and they're going to give him as many chances to succeed as possible.
What they do with Brock Purdy? Just come backup role.
Go back to backup role.
I don't know, man. He hasn't looked sharp. He hasn't really played, but
Trey Lance?
Yeah.
Yeah, he only played they played it at Monsoon in Chicago. And I think the next game he got hurt.
Okay. I we got the Chargers and Jaguars. And Mike Williams is out if you haven't heard.
Where you ask those questions about playing starters in a game that's meaningless, if people talk about rhythm and stuff like that. I mean, what's the best availability?
Right.
So I think Jacksonville's going to win.
So I think I picked the Jaguars, but I think I'm going to pick the Jaguars.
Yeah, and all of these games, I don't think there's any of these games that is just, well, with the exception of the Miami-Buffalo game, none of these games is like 1,000% take to the bank. But this one's pretty. I like Jacksonville because Mike Williams being out is gonna have an impact on the game.
I took the Jacksonville before I knew that Williams was out. It was 33-30. I'll take him maybe even more, maybe 38-28.
I can see it pretty high scoring.
Or 30-20 or something like that. San Diego, it always chokes in the big game, and
This is Herbert's first. This is both Herbert and Trevor Lawrence's first playoff game. Although you could say Trevor Lawrence kind of played a playoff game last week just to get in.
so what do you think about Trevor versus who would you rather have, Trevor or I'm missing the guy's name, Trevor or
I'd rather have Herbert.
yeah, I think Trevor's going to be better, unless Jacksonville just absolutely screws him up. I do think Trevor's going to be better. I'm not so sure about Herbert. Herbert, I don't know.
I'll say this about Herbert. It hasn't been his fault the Chargers haven't made the playoffs since he's been there.
It's only been there for 2 years, so.
Yeah, they could have made it last year and the year before, but they couldn't have made it
for 3 years.
Yeah, so it hasn't been his fault that they haven't been in the playoffs. He's done his part.
Okay, so we'll move on to that. I just think Trevor's, he's got the winning college history, was the best quarterback in college for a long time, for a while.
Yeah, I think I like him. It's just, in today's league, the way the league is set up, Justin Herbert can sling it. He can sling it, and Trevor Lawrence can sling it too. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he can't. It's just the direction the league is going. I'd rather have Herbert because Trevor Lawrence likes to run, and that can get you hurt. See Lamar Jackson.
Speaking of him, we'll have a conversation about him in a minute.
Stephen A., what's your reaction to this news?
Well, my initial reaction to this news is I'm happy that Eric Bieniemy is getting interviewed. He deserves a shot to be a head coach in this league. My second reaction is, thank God it isn't the Houston Texans, because we know how they treat African American coaches. David Culley and Lovie Smith being the two most recent examples. I think that we should all be on notice as African Americans what's transpiring with the Houston Texans organization and GM Nick Caserio, who should fire himself. He should have been gone. Number three, I'm not that enamored with the Indianapolis coach job because since Andrew Luck departed and decided to step away from the game, it's been a mess. And, I know that Frank Reich got him steered in the right direction to some degree before things fell apart this season. And I guess, they've got some potential. Jonathan Taylor's there. They've got some studs on the defensive side of the ball as well. Maybe Eric Bieniemy can find a quarterback. I hope he gets the job. I hope he gets offered the head coaching job. It's not the greatest job in the world in my estimation. But when you're black, particularly when you're Eric Bieniemy, who's long deserved a shot, you got to take these opportunities, unfortunately, when they're presented to you. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.